Hi guys, Nesto Ventures right there. Yeah, so there is one young Caucasian as a white guy. You know, he mainly discusses about I think Rohr or something. Discusses about Africa and African economics. Okay, I think there is one of his some okay, yeah, one of his interesting clips that I just that got me thinking. So, and this is quite imperative for most of our elites, okay, to have everything. That's people at the handle or at the helm of affairs, okay. Yes, whereby there are some he was talking about he's talking about tax, okay, the effect of taxes on the economics, where he's trying to say that some young lads are being trained, okay, for the sole purpose of the tax recouping of taxes, okay. There's people that will go for tax drives, okay, to recoup or to to gather taxes, okay, from businesses and setups and all that, okay, for Africa. And all this kind of still bounces back to the people that have equipped them, you know, and giving them the nod to go so, okay. So there's one interesting piece, you know, that he dropped there, whereby he kind of aptly gave advice for our elites, those are the helm of affairs, you know what I'm talking about, to and all those concerned that that falls within that together. Everybody automatically knows, okay, what kind of people falls within that particular circle. All right. So this guy is trying to tell the elites, down here in Africa, to put a stop to certain things, okay, to put a block sign simply, to some certain things that are quite detrimental to the economy. So I guess you guys, without further ado, would watch the entire clips for more comprehension. All right, and learn a thing or two. Next story. Gracias.
The West has a plan to squeeze even more money out of Africa, and they're calling it tax collectors without borders. And so what they're doing is that they're training hundreds of thousands of tax collectors that aren't loyal to any one country in Africa, and they're providing those as resources so that the African governments can tax their own citizens more effectively. It's basically a 1-2 punch. The first thing that they did through the IMF and the World Bank was they got African countries in a lot of debt, and the cost of servicing that debt started to eat up almost all of the government revenue in many of the African countries. And the Western world came in and said, hey, what if we train tax collectors for you and offer all of our advanced analytical tools that we use to tax people in the Western world? And if you do these tax reforms that we propose, we'll give you even more loans so that you can do your big projects, or maybe you can get that chalet in Switzerland. But unlike the Western world, where the tax money might actually find itself circulating in the economy, because they set up these African nations in a lot of debt, the money that they collect from this increased tax revenue is just going to get shot out into the Western world, which is something that even the colonialists of the 1700s couldn't have dreamed would happen. So is there anything that can be done about this? My recommendation is, if you're an African leader, even though it's hard, hit block on the World Bank, hit block on the IMF, and just don't do business with these people in the future. So I'm not trying to be negative. I'm a big believer in Africa, but I certainly want to...
And digested. My ears are not greater than yours, so I hope you had the best of it. This question is yours, remember, not mine. So till I come your way next time, so remain yours truly, Nesto Ventures. Ciao.